With that, let's get you to a hot and humid South Florida as we welcome in our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Guys, stay hydrated.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And we are underway from Miami. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And a cut to the right and some open field here. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And for Martin, a little underwhelming in his performance against San Diego. Got 17 carries, but 45 yards. Did have a touchdown, but only a second of the year.
But one thing you do know, Brandon, the top running backs in the NFL are like high-performance vehicles, aren't they? And Doug Martin had a setback, had the hamstring injury, still rounding into form. But they actually need him to channel what Jacquizz Rodgers did for them earlier this year. Remember, we had back-to-back 100-yard games? For them to go as far as they want to make the playoffs and maybe even beyond, they'll need that Doug Martin back, the one who can give them 100-yard games on the ground.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
In 2015, we saw the Doug Martin that we saw as a rookie, didn't we?
Absolutely. A 1,400-yard second only to Adrian Peterson last year.
And he really helped a young quarterback develop by taking a lot of pressure off of him.
Now he feels good coming off that 5-year deal he signed in March.
Feels even better about that. They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards, we're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Ready.
The toss play, this is Martin. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. Still 9 yards to go on third down. On third down, Winston. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Tackle made by Chris Conte. Second down following the run. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Third down now following the completed pass.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, the Dolphins will ask Matt Darr to kick it away.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. And 3 points surrendered on the last drive against them. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break.
I like that, and that's not always wrong. We run into a lot of coordinators that talk about, well, if I give up 3 points, my whole day's ruined. Actually, it's not. Just giving up field goals usually gives your team a chance to win if you're playing good defense.
Yeah, especially in the National Football League. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. Winston gives to the tailback, Martin. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, that's the Doug Martin we saw, not just in his rookie year when he burst on the scene out of Boise State, but how about in 2015 when he earned a big-time contract extension from Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you mentioned it, from Boise State, 31st pick back in 2012. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Now they'll get 16 yards there, and it'll give the Bucs a 1st down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The target there was Brandon Myers, and it's 3rd and short.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 3rd and goal, Winston. His pass caught at the 4. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Charles Sims, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 10-zip our score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
Fielded just inside the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay heading back out for an offensive series. And we were talking about this before the game off air, Charles. So many injuries to this offense this year. The latest occurrence against the Chargers in Week 13, Cecil Shorts, he's now gone.
Another wide receiver hurt because, remember, Vincent Jackson, their number 2 receiver, was hurt earlier this year. So they've had to make a lot of adjustments, a lot of attention on Mike Evans, their top receiver, one of the best ones in the game. But guys like Adam Humphries have come along and given them quality play. And Jaquiz Rodgers really held the fort for them while they're waiting to get Doug Martin back.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
The play fake to Sims. Now Winston. Complete. He finds Bray. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Winston with a give to Martin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Play action now. Winston. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Still 3rd down.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's the Bucs' new signee from New York, Robert Ayers. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. One receiver to the left is Evans. Here's Winston. He's got time in the pocket, buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to air one out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 57 yards. And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
Jameis to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Roberto Aguayo following the made field goal, set now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And out come the Dolphins now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And just a simple, basic neutral zone infraction here, partner.
Yeah, when you're ready to launch and go get the quarterback, sometimes you take off a bit too fast.
And the offense will now face a 2nd and 14 after that last penalty. Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Dolphins haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Buccaneers have come in and looked good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 3rd and goal. Sims is wide open, able to make the grab. He capped off the 7-play drive with the score. The Buccaneers push the lead to 10. Dolphins have the football midway through the 2nd. Buccaneers have it late in the 2nd. Maxwell's got to get to the quarterback here. This goes for a loss of 4. Still late stages of the 2nd, with plenty of pressure this half and another sack. This ends up as a loss of 9. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the 2nd half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he hits the tight end. It's Deion Sims. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Offense.
So after the mistake by the offense, it cost them 5 yards. And now 1st and 15.
We got 3. Zebra.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They run with Ajayi. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Well, Charles, making a quick pivot, cleats have been a big topic of conversation for a lot of reasons this year, but the my cars, my cleats thing that's going on in the league, that's pretty cool. Players essentially putting the charity of their choice on their cleat and putting money towards that charity. A neat thing.
A very neat thing, and what I took away from it more than anything else is the diversity of causes out there. So when you look at what these guys were representing and wanting to get their message out, think to yourself, these guys are not one-dimensional people. It's not just simply football. It's football, family, friends, causes, and these guys really care about what they were doing.
If you want to learn more about it, by the way, it's NFL.com/mycausemycleats. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So this will be the 9th play on this drive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Again, it's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. On the right hash, officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Frank's kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The Dolphins' new signing from Buffalo, Mario Williams, in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cecil Shorts, 83 yards. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The point after now for Aguayo. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Still first down.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. William Golston in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Simple slant route, and it works to perfection.
And when you're a big-bodied receiver, you use it like it's a basketball play. Body the defender away and catch the football.
Here's Tannehill surveying the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. Give him 9 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Tannehill on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 47 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
And he puts it through. A drive that time of 6 plays. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And off comes to Martin. And he'll be taken down. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. See if they stay on the ground for second down. One man on the backfield, that's Martin. And he'll get it up the middle. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
They come out with one back and three tight ends. They'll run for it with Martin. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Doug Martin taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
For that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Again, it's Martin. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. A play fake to Sims. Now Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time, one play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play call.
Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. William Golston in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, offside, and keep it moving.
Still second down.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. And it'll bring up third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Here's Matt Darr now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. One receiver to the left is Evans. Winston here to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cecil Shorts with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And now off to the races down the right side. The 30. And can you believe this? It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. After the touchdown, Aguayo now ready for the kickoff. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.